I thought my best friend of 3 years was my sister and my rock, but she systematically manipulated me, isolated me from everyone, destroyed my relationship, monitored my life, and made me dependent on her while pretending to protect me, until I finally discovered the truth, cut her out, and learned to reclaim my life and trust again. I'm writing this from my car in a Walmart parking lot at 3 a.m. because I can't go home yet. Home is where all her lies live, woven into 3 years of friendship I thought was real. Home is where I have to face that the person I trusted most in the world spent those 3 years systematically destroying my life while I thanked her for being there. Her name is Jenna. My best friend since we met at a work conference. The person who knew every password, every fear, every dream. The one I called first with good news and bad. The sister I chose. And she was poison the entire time. This started unraveling 2 weeks ago, but the truth is it started 3 years ago when she sat down next to me at that conference hotel bar and said, "You look like you could use a friend." I did need a friend. I just moved to a new city for work. Didn't know anyone. Was dating Marcus, who I'd met online 2 months earlier. Everything was new and uncertain, and Jenna appeared like an answer to a prayer I didn't know I'd been saying. We clicked immediately. Same sense of humor. Same taste in music. Same complicated relationship with our mothers. By the end of the conference, we were texting daily. Within a month, she was the person I talked to more than anyone, including Marcus. "I'm so glad I found you," she said one night over wine at her apartment. "It's rare to meet someone who just gets it, you know? Who gets you." I felt the same way. Marcus was great, but Jenna understood me on a different level. She could finish my sentences. Knew what I needed before I asked. Made me feel seen in a way I hadn't felt since childhood friendships that fell apart when real life got complicated. Looking back now, I see how calculated it all was. How she studied me those first few weeks, learned my patterns, figured out exactly what kind of friend I needed so she could become that person. But at the time, it just felt like fate. The first crack in my relationship with Marcus came 3 months after I met Jenna. We were having dinner, Marcus and me, when my phone buzzed. "Jenna." I glanced at it, smiled at whatever joke she'd sent, and went back to the conversation. "You're on your phone a lot lately," Marcus said. "Just Jenna. She's hilarious." "You talk about her constantly." "Because she's my best friend." "Is that a problem?" He backed off, but I could see something shift in his face. Like he was filing away information, making mental notes about a pattern I couldn't see yet. Jenna noticed when I told her about it later. "He's jealous of our friendship," she said, her voice dripping with concern. "That's a red flag. Healthy partners don't try to isolate you from friends." "He's not trying to isolate me. He just mentioned I'm on my phone a lot." "And how did that make you feel? Guilty? Like you had to defend yourself?" I had felt guilty. I had defended myself. And Jenna was right there, pointing it out, making it seem like Marcus was the problem instead of me just being rude at dinner. "You deserve someone who celebrates your friendships, not someone who makes you feel bad about them," she said. Just something to think about. I did think about it. I thought about it so much that the next time Marcus mentioned my phone usage, I snapped at him. Told him he was being controlling. We had our first real fight, and I called Jenna immediately after, crying in my car. "He's showing his true colors," she said. "I'm sorry, babe. I know you care about him. But maybe pay attention to these signs before you're in too deep." I was already in deep. Marcus and I had been talking about moving in together. But after that fight, I pulled back. Told him I wasn't ready. He looked confused and hurt, but he didn't push. Jenna threw me a freedom party that weekend. "Celebrating you not rushing into something you're not sure about," she said, handing me a drink. "You're too smart to settle." The pattern continued for months. Every small conflict with Marcus, Jenna was there to magnify it. To point out what it meant. To remind me I deserved better. When Marcus forgot my birthday dinner because of a work emergency, Jenna was outraged on my behalf. That's not just forgetting. That's showing you where you rank in his priorities. When he wanted to spend Christmas with his family instead of coming to mine, Jenna called it selfish. "He's making you choose." That's manipulative. When he got quiet during a party because he didn't know anyone and felt awkward, Jenna said he was antisocial and embarrassing. "You're so bubbly and outgoing. You need someone who matches your energy, not someone who drags you down." Every critique felt like friendship. Like someone who loved me protecting me from someone who didn't. And slowly, I started believing Marcus was the problem. We broke up after a year and a half. It wasn't explosive. Just a slow erosion of trust and connection until we were two people sitting in the same room feeling completely alone. "I don't think this is working," I said finally. He looked relieved and sad at the same time. "I don't either. I feel like I'm always doing something wrong. Like I can't make you happy no matter what I do. Maybe we're just not compatible." "Maybe." He paused. "Or maybe Jenna's in your head too much. But I'm tired of competing with her for your attention." I got defensive. "She's my friend. She's been there for me through everything. Has she? Or has she just been there to point out everything I'm doing wrong? I didn't have an answer. I was too angry at him for attacking Jenna to see that maybe he had a point. We split up amicably. He moved out of my apartment within a week. I cried for 3 days, and Jenna was there for all of it. You did the right thing, she said, holding me while I sobbed. You deserve someone who truly sees you. Marcus never did. I believed her. I had to believe her, because if she was wrong, it meant I'd just ended a relationship with a good man for no reason. 3 months after the breakup, I started dating again. Jenna had opinions about everyone. David was too boring. You need someone with passion. Chris was too intense. That's love bombing. Major red flag. Alex was too focused on his career. You'll always come second to his job. By the 6th failed attempt at dating, I started wondering if maybe I was the problem. Maybe I was too picky. Maybe my standards were impossible. Don't settle, Jenna said firmly. I'd rather see you alone than with someone who's not good enough for you. You're amazing. Wait for someone who deserves you. So I waited. And waited. And slowly stopped trying because Jenna made every potential partner sound like a disaster waiting to happen. Meanwhile, my friendship with Jenna deepened. We talked every day. Spent every weekend together. She had a key to my apartment. Knew my work schedule. Could access my email because we shared passwords in case of emergency. We're basically married, she joked. But better, because we actually like each other. It felt true. She was my person. The one constant in a life full of variables. The friend who stayed when relationships ended, jobs changed, family disappointed. Last month, I ran into Marcus at a coffee shop. We hadn't spoken since the breakup 18 months earlier. He looked good. Happy. There was a woman with him, laughing at something he said, her hand casually resting on his arm. Hey, he said when he saw me. Friendly but distant. How've you been? Good. You? Really good. He introduced the woman. Emily. His girlfriend of 8 months. She seemed nice. Genuine. The kind of person who smiled with her whole face. We made small talk for a few minutes, awkward but not hostile, and then they left. I sat with my coffee feeling something I couldn't quite name. Not jealousy, exactly. More like regret. Like I'd let something good slip away because someone convinced me it wasn't good enough. I didn't tell Jenna about running into Marcus. Something stopped me. Some instinct I couldn't articulate. That night, I got a Facebook friend request from Emily. I accepted, curious. She messaged me immediately. Hey. I hope this isn't weird, but I wanted to reach out. Marcus mentioned you were friends with someone named Jenna? My stomach dropped. Yeah, she's my best friend. Why? This is going to sound insane, but I think I know her. Or knew her. Different city, different name, but the photo looked familiar. Does she have a sister named Caroline? No. She's an only child. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. But if it's the same person. Can we talk? Maybe grab coffee? I should have said no. Should have blocked her and forgotten about it. But curiosity won. We met the next day at a Starbucks halfway between us. Emily brought a folder. Actual printed photos and documents like we were in a crime drama. She set it on the table between us, nervous. I don't know if this is the same person, she said. But if it is, you need to know what she did to my sister. She opened the folder. Inside were photos of Jenna. Different hair color, different style, but unmistakably her. And next to her in the photos was a woman I didn't recognize. That's my sister, Rachel. 3 years ago, she met someone at a yoga class. They became best friends almost immediately. This woman was amazing. Supportive. Always there. Became like family. My chest tightened. The story sounded familiar. Rachel was engaged at the time. Great guy named Tom. They'd been together 4 years. But after she met this friend, things started falling apart. The friend kept pointing out little things. Tom's flaws. Red flags Rachel had never noticed. Within 6 months, Rachel called off the wedding. I felt sick. Rachel was devastated. But the friend was there through all of it. Told her she'd dodged a bullet. That she deserved better. Rachel believed her because why wouldn't she? This person was her best friend. Emily pulled out more photos. Screenshots of text messages. After the breakup, Rachel started getting weird messages. Anonymous accounts telling her Tom was cheating during their relationship. That he'd talked shit about her to his friends. That he'd only proposed because his parents pressured him. All lies, but Rachel didn't know that. She was heartbroken and angry and her best friend was there confirming every suspicion. How do you know they were lies? Because we found out later that the friend was sending them. She'd created fake accounts. Fabricated evidence. Even photoshopped screenshots of conversations that never happened. All to make sure Rachel stayed away from Tom and kept depending on her. My hands were shaking. Why? Control. Obsession. We're still not entirely sure. But it got worse. The friend started isolating Rachel from everyone. Family, other friends, co-workers. Always had a reason why those people were toxic or fake or secretly judging her. Within a year, Rachel had no one except this friend. She'd quit her job because the work environment was hostile, according to the friend. Stopped talking to our parents because they didn't support her, according to the friend. Her entire life revolved around this person. What happened? Emily's face darkened. Rachel tried to kill herself. The isolation, the manipulation, the constant instability. It broke her. She's okay now, in therapy, rebuilding. But it took almost losing her for us to figure out what had been happening. Did you confront the friend? We tried. She disappeared. Blocked everyone. Changed her name. We reported it to police, but there's no law against being a terrible friend. Unless we could prove fraud or harassment with clear intent, there was nothing they could do. So we documented everything and hoped she wouldn't do it to someone else. She pushed the folder toward me. If this is the same person, and I'm 90% sure it is based on the photos, you need to get away from her. She's dangerous. Not physically, but psychologically. She finds vulnerable people and makes herself indispensable, then tears apart their life until she's all they have left. I drove home in a fog. Parked outside my apartment and sat there for an hour, trying to convince myself Emily was wrong. That Jenna was just similar looking. That this was all a horrible coincidence. But the details matched too perfectly. The way we met. The immediate intensity. The systematic dismantling of my relationship with Marcus. The criticism of every potential partner since. The slow isolation from other friends who didn't get me the way Jenna did. I went inside and opened my laptop. Started searching. Jenna Morrison plus various cities. Nothing. Changed the name to what Emily said her sister's friend had used. Jennifer Hartley. Different city from 3 years ago. There she was. Same face. Different name. Different hair. But unmistakably Jenna. I found her social media from that period. Photos with Rachel. Captions about soul sisters and found family. The exact same phrases she used with me. I kept digging. Found another name. Another city. Another destroyed friendship. This woman had been doing this for years. Moving, changing identities, finding new targets, burning their lives down, and moving on. My phone rang. Jenna. Like she could sense I was pulling away. Hey. Wanna grab dinner? I'm craving that Thai place. I stared at her name on my screen. Actually, I can't tonight. Work stuff. Again? You've been so busy lately. I'm starting to think you're avoiding me, she laughed, but there was an edge to it. Just a lot going on. Well, make time. You're my person. I need my person. Your person. Possessive. Demanding. Not the language of friendship but of ownership. I'll text you later, I said and hung up. She called back immediately. I didn't answer. She called 3 more times, then started texting. Is everything okay? You're worrying me. Did I do something wrong? Please talk to me. Within an hour, she was at my door. I heard her key in the lock, the key I'd given her because best friends have keys, and she was inside before I could stop her. What's going on? She looked genuinely concerned. Or genuinely good at faking concern. I couldn't tell the difference anymore. I need space. Space? From what? From me? Why? Her voice cracked. Did someone say something? Is this about work? Did Marcus say something when you ran into him? I froze. How did you know I ran into Marcus? You posted about going to that coffee shop. He tags his location there all the time. I just assumed. But I hadn't posted about the coffee shop. I never posted my location. I've been careful about that since a stalking incident at my old job. How did you really know? I told you. I assumed. Stop lying. Something changed in her face. The concern melted away, replaced by something cold and calculating. You talked to Emily. How do you? She's been looking for me. Rachel's annoying little sister who can't mind her own business. I saw the friend request. I knew she'd try to poison you against me. Is it true? Did you do that to Rachel? To other people? She laughed. Actually laughed. Rachel was weak. She was pathetic and clingy and she made her whole identity about a man who didn't even really love her. I helped her see that. I helped her become independent. You isolated her. You manipulated her. You drove her to finally take control of her life. Yes. I did. And I was doing the same for you. You were wasting yourself on Marcus. On mediocre men who would never appreciate you. I was helping you see your worth. By destroying my relationship? By making me think everyone around me was the problem? They were the problem. Marcus was boring and insecure. Your other friends were shallow. Your family doesn't understand you. I'm the only one who truly sees you. Who knows you? You don't know me. You studied me. You manipulated me. You're not my friend. I don't even know what you are. Her face twisted with rage. After everything I've done for you? I saved you from a miserable life with Marcus. I kept you from settling. I was there for every breakdown, every crisis, every moment when you needed someone. And this is how you repay me? Get out. No. We're going to talk about this. We're going to work through this like adults. Get out or I'm calling the police. She stared at me for a long moment, and I saw something in her eyes I'd never seen before. Something empty and cold. Like I was a project that had stopped being interesting. Fine, she said quietly. But you'll regret this. You'll realize how good you had it. How much I did for you. And when you come crawling back, when you realize you have no one else, I won't be here. She left, but not before grabbing several things from my apartment. Books she'd given me. A sweater she'd left here. My spare key from the hook by the door. Taking back what was hers, reclaiming territory. I locked the door behind her and immediately changed the locks. Then I sat on my couch and cried for 3 hours because my best friend of 3 years was a stranger. A dangerous, manipulative stranger who'd spent those 3 years systematically destroying my life while convincing me she was saving it. I called Marcus the next day. He sounded surprised to hear from me. I owe you an apology, I said. You were right about Jenna. About all of it. I'm so sorry. Silence. Then, thank you for saying that. It means a lot. I was an idiot. I let her in my head and I hurt you because of it. You weren't an idiot. She was good at what she did. Emily told me what her sister went through. I'm just glad you figured it out before it got worse. Is there any chance? Could we maybe get coffee? Just to talk? More silence. Longer this time. I'm with Emily now. I'm happy. And I think you need to figure out who you are without Jenna before you try to figure out who you are with anyone else. He was right. I knew he was right. But it still hurt. I'm sitting in this Walmart parking lot at 3 a.m., scrolling through 3 years of text messages and photos and memories that all feel contaminated now. Every inside joke was calculated. Every vulnerable moment I shared was information she filed away to use later. Every time she was there for me, she was really just making sure I needed her more. I blocked her on everything. Email, phone, social media. But I still get messages from accounts I don't recognize. You'll regret this. You need me. Everyone else will leave. I never would have. She's watching me somehow. Tracking my movements. Maybe she put spyware on my phone or my laptop during one of the 1,000 times she had access. Maybe she's just following me. I don't know. But I feel her presence like a ghost I can't shake. I'm moving next month. Different city. Starting over. Again. This time without a best friend who knows every password, every secret, every fear. This time, I'm going to be more careful about who I trust. About who I let in. About mistaking intensity for intimacy and possession for love. Because Jenna taught me something valuable, even if she didn't mean to. The most dangerous people aren't always the ones who hurt you from the outside. Sometimes they're the ones you invite in. The ones you give keys to. The ones who destroy you slowly, with a smile, while calling it friendship.